Hi, Nick Tockert here with the Historical Fencing Guild. It is somewhere around 4 in the morning at my house, and insomnia is once again, reared its ugly head. Pardon me, my voice is cutting in and out, so I'll try not to be too disruptive. But I wanted to talk about some things, and this is hopefully by the end of summer, I will be relocating. Um, my wife will be starting a job in a couple hours, and it's about 100 miles away. So that commute, it's excessive. So we're going to have to relocate. And as somebody who runs a pretty much free fencing school, that means I'm just going to lose some of my students. A few have already said they commute so far, and I'm sorry, this is a little emotional for me. They said, some are going to try to make the difference because I guess for them, the way I'm going won't be that much farther than where they have to come out now. But I'm losing some. And it hit at a point in their development where I almost think it's almost necessary. One of the hardest things as a sword master that I've ever experienced is realizing the point where if you want someone to continue their growth, you have to hand them off. Now, the simple sword is an incredible system. It is a primarily one-handed, one weapon per hand system. Well, I have adaptation for two-handed, and that's what the next book will be about. There are reasons for that. I prefer the calibration of one-handed. It's safer. And most of my target audience are people who are trying to get into shape. Now, sometimes people need or want more aggression than can be shown on the field, as I do it. And frankly, as hard as I've worked to be as capable and mobile as I am, I do have disadvantages. There's nothing that will ever make me grow several inches. As as better as I am, I still have certain physical limitations. And after doing this for nearly 20 years, I have some pretty severe damage. I've got, rib issues. I've got elbow issues. You know, I've taken a lot of hits to do this. And I had to refer, you guys know him, Bob. You've seen him. I just posted more videos of him. He's been a great guy. He's an amazing guy, amazing student. But I had to refer to him to another local friend of mine, a man by the name of John Miner, who's involved with the Society for Creative Anachronism, because they were the closest, heaviest combat group I could pass him to. And that's what he wants. He's a man of both strength and age, where he needs that. He needs that place, that kind of place to put out his aggression, and a bit more social than what he's getting here. And it's rough. It's very hard on me because while we're doing what we need to for my family, there is a part that feels like I'm stepping away from folks. And it won't, for the viewers, this should not affect this summer at all. I should be here. We should be doing our practices and videos on time. I will try to get out as many of the informative videos as I can before we start looking serious into the move, because I just don't know what resources I'm going to have on the other side. It's a great thing for us in that, you know, we'll be able, we'll be making a bit more money, but the interim is going to be tight while we make these arrangements. So it's going to be rough. I actually have a new product that I had ordered with the tax check, and I actually ordered it and have been working with it as a surprise, mostly geared to our dear friend Bob. But as this is going on, I may be able to unveil it a bit earlier. So I'll do that in another video, one that's not necessarily, it will be about that product, what I think of it so far, and then I'll start running it through the paces, and we'll see what we're going to do. So it's something for you guys to look forward to. And I know I'm rambling, but hopefully on the other side, I'll be in a place where I can set up more formal. I may end up reshooting the earlier Simple Sword videos if I have a better studio environment for, for continuity's sake. I would like everything to look the same, video to video. And I don't think any of you will mind, because better video quality, better sound quality, a more formal background, I think this would appeal to a lot of you. I want to take a moment, and I really want to thank my patrons, because right now there's only 2 of you, and you're amazing, because I don't charge the people who come out every week, any like dues. That's not what I'm about. And even though that I've never charged that, they've all, in one way or another, tried to help, and I'm so appreciative of that. Even if it's just bringing a little extra so that there are leftovers after Friday, for practice. I don't know if I can I can express what that means or how much it's really helped during some of our more lean times, because this has been a run for us. This is very exciting. I mean, this is good. We're relocating. Eventually we'll be finally getting a place of our own, and eventually, I gotta wash my hand. I don't want to block the screen. My little tripod broke, so I've had to improvise more than my usual, which is saying something. I am saving up the Patreon money with the intent of buying a new camera. When I get a higher grade, I have a higher grade camera kind of picked out. Higher grade for me, maybe not for some of you, and hopefully a boom mic. So I'm hoping that when I can get somewhere, I can set up a shed or a garage, or I dream of a pole barn for guild use, and more importantly, at least for the purpose of the channel, to be set up for studio use. So that's what's long ball kind of, gleam in my eye, dream in my heart stuff. What I'd love to see from you guys is more interactivity. Between, I want to know what you think about my videos. I want to know what you want to see, what works, what doesn't. And I realize there aren't a lot of views for the just sparring videos. I seem to, I've had people ask me, "Are you just spamming these things?" No, I put the sparring videos up, hopefully so that the students can see the difference between how they fought 2 years ago and how they fought last night or last week or whatever. How they fight different people, how they fight different styles. It's meant to be a diagnostic tool. I find them fun to watch just because anytime you watch, Kima or what we do, which is its own thing, you can learn stuff, and you can learn about reading types of fighters. When you get into my book, the simple sword, which I have to plug every so often, or else you guys forget it's there. Uh, what it has in it is a breakdown that I haven't really found in most manuals of how to approach fighters of different styles, not just like weapon styles, but mentalities. What you can see, someone who's more of a dancer, what they're going to go against somebody versus like somebody who's more of a sniper, how they're going to fight, how to read what they do. And that's why the videos are so important because you can go, oh, a defensive, very stout fighter. You can look at somebody like Jim, who I, post videos up regularly, even though his aggression over the years has slowly and carefully improved. He's still very much that wall of defense first, and it's a beautiful thing. And I'm really glad to see that. He's doing some really neat things with a scream off to the side, and it's starting to influence his fighting more. I'd like to see that. But that's sort of part of what's coming down the pipe. What else? I am hoping when things stabilize, I can't guarantee, but for many years I've been trying to accomplish a very specific set of projects with my friend Sword Sage. And if not before the move, definitely after, I'm hoping to do something cool. And it's a matter of getting our worlds to line up. So I'm going to float that out there. He knows what I'm thinking of because we've been at this for years. Uh, and I'm hoping to bring, over the course of the summer, I'm hoping the immediacy of my relative departure might bring out the students more and get them to participate a bit more so that I can do more things for you guys. There will be, like I said, there's a couple product reviews coming up. I want to do more of the educational armoring. I know you guys want a Gorget video. I just have to get things set up to do it so that you can see how it's done. Also, like I said, I need to know what you want. When I work with someone who's a student, it's a very personal thing. It's what do you, I have a basic system that takes somebody from, so I've never held a sword, to functional. I have never said it'll make you great because greatness only comes from dedication, capacity, and experience. No one is born great. No one is just perfect at it. There are people that's a lot easier. And, for somebody with the physicality like my good friend Bob, there's a lot of potential there. He just needs a different lens. And that's cool because that's what the guild was supposed to be about. The guild was originally founded to be a place where SCA people and LARPies, and I don't mean that as a derogatory term, I'm just trying, there's so many groups, I need something to talk about, and HEMA, and classical fencers, and, Western martial artists, and like knife guys. It's meant to be a place where you guys can all come together and we can talk. And, locally, not, we can spar. And when it works best is when we have people from different disciplines with an agreed vocabulary, both of conduct and, we understand it's limited calibration. We understand, roughly equivalent weaponry. And from there, we can see what works in our styles, what works in their styles. That's what this group was supposed to be. That's what I'm hoping in the long term to bring it back to. The simple sword is my Rosetta Stone between new people and people who've been at this with different systems so that they can just sort of parse the language out and get past the nuances. This is a very important thing for me. This is really what I'm about. I build people up and then I build connections. And then the people use those connections to become better. And I try to do it with as little bias as possible. It's very hard not to be biased as a swordsman. more so as a sword master. And sometimes I realize I'm hard on people. Sometimes I'm too hard on people. It's a character flaw. But I have a gift. I have a knack. And that is when I meet somebody, very often I can get a very good sense of their potential. And many times it's far more or far different than what they think. And there is nothing I love, no greater feeling to me than taking someone who has low self esteem, maybe a bad body image, maybe actual health problems, but they dream of becoming a swordsman or swordswoman, and helping them, giving them that boost, that hand up, and that moment when they realize, wow, I'm doing this, you know? And I don't care what discipline. I don't care if it's only with light weapons or if they're in full plate banging away or they go off to be, to try out for the Olympics or they go off to play SCA or they go off to do HEMA. I just want to give the people who don't think they have a shot one way or another that boost. And that's what I've been about. And I want to thank especially my patrons because in your own way, both the formal ones through Patreon and my friends who've donated time and money and you know goods and here this is leftover, it doesn't work for me, can you use it for something stuff, uh, and you know what you've done, you know who you are. I can go through the big names and I'll do it. I'll go. Trelana has been with me forever. She's one of the longest students, one of my longest friends who participate in this. uh, I will never be able to thank her enough, privately or publicly, for her service to me, to my family, and to the guild. She's just amazing. Even if she doesn't make practice as much because her job sucks right now. Well, it's awesome, but works a lot. Jim. You've seen Jim. Jim has overcome things that it's not my place to say, but would have taken a lesser soul and crushed it. His tenacity and his constant effort are things I can never admit what inspiration. I'm going to say Sword Sage because I don't know if he wants his real name out. But Sword Sage has been a part of my sword play for unknown, untold years, and even though we often run in separate circles, the overlaps are some of the greatest moments I've had on the field. John Miner, I would not be who I'd be without him. There are certain people from the SCA I don't speak to anymore because of social stuff. But I got to admit that I do owe a debt of thanks, even though it didn't work out, to them. And it's there, but I doubt they're going to watch my channel because, as I said, I can be hard on people. It's a character flaw. But I want Richie, because he was one of the first people I trained and worked with who went, I'm going to look up this manual. I'm going to make myself about this guy. And even though his work and family rarely lets him come out, he's still a devout Meyer student. He's still studying. He's still working up ways to do it on his own. And that's huge. That's, that correspondence is huge. My buddy Jason, he doesn't show up much, but he was so important and so crucial. The folks who show up all the time, Rachel and Steph, who, odd I put those two. The chef, wherever he is. Santa Claus's spook is out there doing his thing. And though, he doesn't come around, he made a lot of this possible. Right? My brother, especially my youngest brother, Ricky, You don't see him out here because he doesn't want to be seen on camera, but he comes by when no one else is, and he works with me, even letting me have somebody to spar against to stay mobile when it, you know, the injuries I carry have flared up, the limitations are getting heavy. I know I can work with him and kind of fight back. I'm just grateful to that. And I'm grateful to all the students who came out. I'm grateful to Steve Augusta. Rarely makes it out, and he actually donates. He's my big patron. I have another, and I don't want to say your name wrong because I misread it, and I have dyslexia. So I will, when I can pronounce your name 100% without worrying about being offensive, I will say your name. But I'm grateful and amazing because I've never met you. I've never had the pleasure of sitting down, to the best of my knowledge, because things, and having a conversation. But you seem to be getting good stuff from the guild, and there are people who I don't know if they ever see these videos, but they're buying the books and they're in countries I never expected. You guys, my family's so tight that every cent that comes in helps more than you'll ever know. And it's important to my soul. It's important to my mind, my spirit that people appreciate. Pete Pidrak, there's one. I haven't heard from him. He actually, back in the bad old days when things were super tight and everything was going wrong, he slipped me gas money to come out and give him lessons so that I would have gas money for the week to take care of, the things my family needed when we were at bad days. I remember these things. Ben Starkey, who, you know, we don't spar a lot. Heather, we don't spar a lot. But they helped me through the gaming side, and I couldn't be me without them. And there's a lot of appreciation. I try to be appreciative. And there are people I'm forgetting because I'm tired. And, of course, my amazing wife, who in a few minutes will be waking up to go to this new job. To drive like 2 hours because it's the best thing for us so that I can take care of little man. My parents, you can't, what do you say about your parents? You can never say enough about your parents. Even if you have problems, even if you hate them, even if you love them, whatever, they're still your parents. Nobody makes you more than the people who made you. You got the family you're born with, the family you choose, and the wonderful people who overlap in the middle. But good things are coming, different things, and I'm trying to step up both the amount of submissions and the quality of submissions. Thank you for giving me that brief hiatus where I could get my head right for dealing with the loss of a friend. Uh, Thank you for viewing these and viewing what's coming and giving me your input because the like, share, subscribe, yes, that helps me get out there. YouTube doesn't monetize my stuff. I don't get a cent for this. I've never gotten anything directly from YouTube. But I'm also not necessarily about that. I'm about helping as many people. And if you spread the word, maybe somebody who wants to learn to sword fight and doesn't think they can will start. And even if they don't choose my method, it's more important that the ball gets rolling. My job as a person, as a human, is to help build people up and get as much good kind of rippling outward. I'm not. I may require the bounce back to eventually come back to me, but that's not what it's about. It's about helping people. And I think for the people who get involved, both, locally and online, when I get feedback, it's good. It's huge. And that's important. And that's what I want to do. I want to do good in this world with what I have and help people learn to do the most with what they have. To be the most they can be. Because we need that. We need hope. We need compassion. We need elevation. We need nobility. We need these things. And it's it's trite maybe sounding, but I'm gonna try doing it till they tell me I have to stop. So I've prowled long enough. Uh, you guys know what's coming down the pipe now. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your time and attention. And as always, support your local sheriff. Sheriff? Support your local sword master. And your sheriff. I mean, sheriffs are good guys too.